Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery series. Today it's all about the time delusion. And the time delusion is that part of life where we seem to add so many tasks to our to-do list and then end up at the end of the day having to reschedule most of them because we just don't have enough time to do it. Essentially what you're doing is you're deluding yourself about how much time you have available to do the things you want to do each week. Now, the way to look at this is if you're scheduling tasks each day and you've got 20 or 30 tasks, and you find that you're having to reschedule 5, 10 or 15 of those tasks at the end of the day, then you are deluding yourself with the amount of time you have available. What I've found in life is that round about 10 meaningful tasks a day is the right number. Now the reason for this is because you are simply going to get distracted, interrupted, and all the unknowns that are going to happen in daily life are going to be thrown at you. In a perfect world, we're not going to get interrupted, we're not going to get distracted, and so yeah, maybe we could do 20 or 30 tasks a day. Reality is that's not going to happen. You know, if you've got a list of 5 calls to make and you schedule that for 30 minutes, you just need one of those calls to go beyond, say, 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and suddenly now it's going to take you 45 or 50 minutes to complete those calls. Now, either you're going to keep going and just complete the calls, and then that's just going to bump up against something else that you want to do that day, or you're going to cut short and move on to the next task. You see, this is happening to so many people almost every single day. We overschedule. And what you need to do, if you want to become much more productive, you need to start reducing the amount of tasks that you have. Now, how do you do this? Now, one of the best places to do this is on your calendar. When you spend the 10 minutes the day before, and if you have watched last week's episode, I stressed the importance of that 10 minutes at the end of every day before you close out the day and before you go home, you plan the next day. Now, when you do that, what you can do is transfer the time that you have tomorrow from your calendar and just block out the times to do it. So your calendar is going to show you what meetings you have to do. Your calendar is going to show you where you are. So you can now fill in the bits that you're going to do, roughly where you're going to do that work. And this works brilliantly every day as long as you make sure that what goes on your calendar gets done. If you're not following that policy, what goes on your calendar gets done, then none of this is going to work. You're just going to ignore whatever you put on your calendar, and you're going to get to the end of the day and suddenly you discover, oh, I've got these 15 tasks that I didn't do. Okay, I'll bump them off till tomorrow. But you've already got tasks assigned for tomorrow, so now you've got 35, 45 tasks. It's a mess, and people will then just suddenly say, oh, okay, I can't do this. To-do lists don't work for me. That's not strictly true. What's happening is you're over-scheduling. So reduce. Remember, it's all very well turning around and saying, oh, but my boss expects me to do all this work today. Fine, but the reality is there's only 24 hours, and it doesn't matter what your boss wants. If you run out of time, you run out of time. You're not going to be able to do that. So start getting much more realistic about what you can do each day. I found that this is probably one of the hardest things about becoming more productive, is getting honest with yourself about what you can realistically achieve each day. I talk about, like, if I go to the gym, I'm probably going to be in the gym for about 50 minutes. What I have to take into account is it takes me 15 minutes to walk to the gym. It's going to take me 5 or 10 minutes to get my stuff together when I finish at the gym, and it's going to take another 15 to 20 minutes to walk back, and it's a 20-minute shower. So the whole time it takes for me to exercise is actually 2 hours when I add all the additional bits into it. So I make sure that I'm not scheduling anything 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after my exercise. I allow the time it needs in order to get the stuff done. And this is what you need to be doing. You need to be really aware of how long tasks take you to do. Let's say that you've got your job involves a lot of email. Well, you need to be scheduling time to be managing your email. If you're not scheduling time to do it, you're never going to get on top of your email. And if I was working in an email intensive job, one of the things that I would actually do is I would probably schedule an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon to deal with my action today folder. Because if I'm not keeping on top of that, it's going to build up, build up, build up, and eventually I'm going to have to declare, email bankruptcy. So you need to start getting realistic about where you're spending your time and on what tasks, reducing the number of tasks that you have each day, and stop deluding yourself about the amount of time that you have each day. The reality is you probably don't have as much time as you would like, so scheduling less is far better than scheduling a lot more and having to then remove tasks and reschedule them. It's far better to schedule less and be able to add tasks from your task list, your master task list if you like, in on the day if you have time at the end of the day. Anyway, that's what I really wanted to stress. It's something I wrote about this week, so I'll put a link to that article in the show notes below. And if you really want to go deeper into this, then David Sparks wrote a great blog post about it. Again, I'll link to that in the notes below. Well, thank you very much for watching this video, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you very much for watching this video. Now I have a question for you. Are you ready to go beyond the to-do list? Now, the reason I ask that question is because your to-do list is never going to do the work for you. Your to-do list is only ever going to show you what needs to be done. And that often can cause a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and a lot of overwhelm. What really helps you to get your work done and what really helps you to become much more productive is developing your own workflow. A workflow that you work from every single day that makes sure that you stay focused on the things that you have identified are the most important things to you. Now that could be your work, it could be your goals, it could be your family, it could be your personal life, it could be your self-development. Whatever that is entirely personal to you. But the key is to develop the workflow so that you are consistently making small steps towards achieving the things that you want to achieve every single day. And that's why I have developed my Productivity Mastermind course, creating your very own custom workflow. And I would love for you to check out the course. The course is available now, details of which are in the notes below, and I would just love to see you in this course. So please join me in the Productivity Mastermind course, developing your very own custom workflow, because this is a course that's going to take you way beyond the to-do list so that you start to really move forward on the goals and the things that you have identified are important to you. Thank you very much.